And it looks like we are live. Welcome back to another episode of In Real Time, a reality short that is focused on helping you build a life blueprint. I am your host and your principal life architect, Regina L. Henry, and I am passionate, you hear me, about supporting you in designing and building a blueprint for your life that is in perfect alignment with who you are, with your genius. I believe there is genius in every single one of us, and your unique genius deserves a unique life blueprint. And so I'm here every day, spending a little time with you to share part of my life and how I build my life blueprint so that you can glean from it some tidbits that may help you in designing and building your life. Today, I want to talk about this word that sometimes people find to be challenging. I am included in that, and that is consistency. Consistency. Consistency is doing something not the exact same way, but that people can rely on you. That when you give your word that you're going to do something, you've built up a track record, to so to speak, where people over time know that they can rely on you because you've been consistent. You show up the way you say you're going to show up in a way that is authentic for you. Well, I want to talk about this whole thing about building a life. Sometimes I think we want to accelerate that process. And while there are certain areas of our lives we can accelerate growth in, don't get me wrong. When it comes to really building out your life to be in perfect alignment with your unique genius, you really want to incorporate this quality of consistency. Now, why do I say that? Part of it is because I know from my own journey that sometimes we want to get everything right and be able to check all the boxes and do all the shoulds in our lives exactly the way we envision it. But really it's not the big choices we make, but the small everyday choices that make the difference between where we are and where we envision ourselves being. Now, way back in the day, I like to say BC, before children, I was a long distance runner. I ran a few marathons with my cousin, shout out to my cousin Tara. And it started as just us trying to get healthy. That turned into a 5K, which turned into a 10K, which turned into a half marathon or a few all over New York City. And finally, we set our sights on running the New York City Marathon, which we did. And the time that we chose to begin training, now the New York City Marathon, for those of you who have run it or are just familiar with it, it's the first Sunday of every November. And the training for it does not start in October. It begins actually way back in June, months before the marathon. And all that is required of the runner is to be consistent with your training program. You don't come out the gate running 26.2 miles unless you are already an Ironman or Iron Woman, right? Really, it requires training over time to build up the stamina, right? And the habit of running for longer and longer periods of time. Well, the quality that's required to do that level of training, is consistency, really. And it's the same way when you're building out your life blueprint, building your life in accordance with the blueprint, is you want to apply that quality of consistency over time. So I encourage you, a practice that I use is that I make sure that I am um, looking at my choices, right? That I am considering my choices every day. I'm reflecting on them. And then I'm resetting, making little tweaks and adjustments along the way so that if there's anything that's out of alignment with who I am, then I'm able to pick it up. Now, recently, I had a health challenge. I mentioned this before, and I realized that when I came back, when I started exercising again, I couldn't do the things that I used to be able to do. So I had to dig deep and pull out this consistency, this consistent character trait to build my stamina over time. And I'm happy to report that I was able to move from just being able to do little 10-minute rides on my exercise bike that I'm up to 30 minutes now, which is a big deal for me. But what I realize is that as I'm making those small choices every day, I am building in the direction that I'm trying to get in, pursuing that part of my life that is critical to my life blueprint, right? And that is my health and wellness, my physical health and wellness. You can apply this practice to anything, anything, any area of your life, professional or personal. Okay. And I encourage you to do so. If you have any tips, tools, or tactics that work for you to encourage consistency in your walk, in your life, please share them in the comments. I want to hear it. We learn from each other. That's it. That's what I wanted to share today. I encourage you to join the Genius Lab, where I will continue with this daily show throughout the month of April and maybe beyond. But you will only be able to see the in real time show in the Genius Lab after this Thursday. After April 7th, it goes away on all these platforms and it'll only be in the lab. So join today. I am so thankful for you for tuning in. I hope that you have found value in what I have shared, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. This is Regina L. Henry, and I am in real time. I'll see you tomorrow, sometime between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to bring you tips, tools, and tactics that will help you design and build your life. Bye now.